I know. I've been sucked down it quite a few times. You have too. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of it. And the way you get out of it is God is going to take you out of that. And you're going to take the initiative. And you're going to be a grace spreader. You're going to grow in that grace. The other thing is be a friend to those in need. Okay? Look at all these people that Paul became a friend to. Right? He was saying, especially those at Caesar's household. Why did he bring out Caesar's household? Can you imagine? No, we can't. But let's try. To imagine those people that were in the palace of this wicked, crazy madman Nero and the special needs that they had. And you can see Paul throughout the New Testament making friends with people who are in need. It wasn't Paul's aim to hobnob with the rich and the famous. He was out there for the ones who were in need. Those who needed Christ, the poor. Look at the people Jesus hung around with. The castaways, the poor, the diseased, the disenfranchised, the people who nobody else would pal around with. Man, high school guys especially. I remember so much being in high school and remembering that there was that popular crowd and everybody yearned to be around the popular crowd and hang around with them because of what I could get back from it. And then you look at the unpopular crowd. And I remember those special people who made it a point to be a friend to those who are in need. I admire them to this day. Those are real people. Those are the champions who do that. How about us? You know, who are we a friend to? In Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 20, it says, the poor are shunned even by their neighbors. But the rich, they have many friends. Don't worry about the rich. Don't worry about the popular. They got a bunch of that already going on. What about the person who doesn't have anything? Do we shun them? Do we not make it a point to be with them? Do we not befriend them? When we grow in grace, we will. Jesus said to his host in Luke chapter 14, 12 through 14, when you give a luncheon or a dinner, don't invite your friends, your brothers, your relatives, your rich neighbors. If you do, they may invite you back and you'll be repaid. But when you give a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed. Although they can't repay you, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. Don't court the rich and the popular. Become a friend of the poor and the destitute. That takes grace. We were poor and needy and he gave to us. And so we need to look for the poor and needy. And we need to give to them. Be a friend to those in need. And then finally, the last point is enjoy. Enjoy God's grace. Enjoy it. Quit trying to carry burdens. Give it to him. How is his grace with you? You know, it says right here, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ be with your spirit. That's for you and me too. The grace of his spirit be with you. Is his grace with you? Is the grace of his spirit with you? I can tell if we just had a little meter on top of your head, your little happy meter, you know. The more his grace is with you, the more your happy meter is going to be pegged down. If you love Jesus, you have God's grace. Growing in God's grace will revolutionize your life. Right, Mark? Growing in God's grace will revolutionize it. It will change the way you look at everything, especially the things that you have. Your marriage, your children, your parents, these people in here, the things that you have accumulated in your home and your bank account and all that stuff. It will revolutionize it when you're growing in God's grace. Folks, we've been given so much grace. We must be gracious to others. And so I pray that we will all grow in his grace. And that's the only way we're going to really realize the vision at New Song. I really believe that God has given us a vision at New Song, but it's going to take our willingness to surrender, our willingness to grow in grace before we'll ever realize the first step, and that is to be a community of faith. Think about all the grace that's involved in being a community of faith. Without grace, there is no community of faith. Without grace, there is no burden for lost people to go and bring the gospel to them and introduce them to Jesus. Without grace, there's no falling deeper in love with Jesus. But that's our vision at New Song. That's our vision for you. I know there are people here who need to experience the grace of God. You're hurting or you're hurting others. And the answer is the grace of Jesus Christ. And you need to respond because it's damaging you. And that damage can become permanent. And the answer is Jesus and His grace. Prayer zone's over here. Please come and experience His grace. Let's all stand. Let's sing.